Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host, Nathan P. Butler. This time we take a look at the very last time that Star Wars, which has been a staple franchise on VHS since 1982, would be released in VHS format. In our last episode, we looked at 1997. Lots and lots of stuff in 97. The Star Wars Trilogy Special Edition was out in theaters. Then it came out on VHS in 3 different packages in the US. Plus, we had a Laserdisc release of the same. Now, we're in 2000 at this point. And The Phantom Menace has been out in theaters for a year. It's going to be 2 more years until Attack of the Clones, but DVD is growing as an accepted home media format, and the fact that it is so much better than VHS is doing one thing for Star Wars fans. It's getting them revved up for Star Wars films on DVD. We want the classic trilogy on DVD, and we want it now. And we're going to have to wait. Instead, what we get in 2000 is the last of the VHS releases of the trilogy. And to be honest, there's really not a lot of fanfare with this, and it is a sometimes very confusing way of selling the product. It's 2 different VHS sets this time around for 2000. This one. And this one. Now, they look very similar. There are significant differences here, but it's another one of these things, kind of like what happened with the gold and silver ones in 97. The full screen one isn't marked as full screen. Only the widescreen is marked specially as widescreen, which leads to a lot of confusion if you're used to the idea of wanting to see these films in widescreen. Is the one you're buying going to be widescreen or full screen? You don't know until you open it up, unless you specifically see the one that says widescreen. It did lead to some confusion, even though you would think, there are going to be 2 of them, look for the one actually labeled widescreen. You'd think it'd be that easy, but in a lot of cases, it wasn't. It confused people, and some stores would sell out of one, only have the other, and leave people wondering which version they were going to get. So what is it that is in these packages? Let's start with full screen. You've got the backside here. It says Star Wars Trilogy. It has the names of the films up at the top. That's it. No notation at all about full screen. The other one, by comparison, Star Wars Trilogy, film names with widescreen. Again, looking very similar, positioned slightly differently. Widescreen says widescreen. Now, both of them feature the same art all the way around the boxes, but the way that these little slip cases on them are put on completely changes what you see. Time for an experiment here. Exact same. Yes. Exact same. And again, exact same. But now we're going to put those little sliding plastic covers over it. You'll notice the widescreen one, in keeping with being widescreen, has horizontal ones, right? And you got it only on 3 sides. Horizontal. The full screen one has kind of a cooler looking vertical slit going on there. So if we were to put these on correctly, right, the boxes here face outward. You don't want that. You want the art facing the side that has the opening. So these sides, right, the box sides, are the ones you put your little black side to. So we slide on the full screen one. We slide on the widescreen one. And what do we get? In this case, with the Darth Vader side, we get Vader at the top, and we get to see some of the X-Wings at the bottom. On this one, no Vader whatsoever, but a full image of the X-Wings. Okay, what about the far end? Here, C-3PO face partly at the top, a little bit of C-3PO and R2-D2 at the bottom. Widescreen, C-3PO and R2 at the bottom in full image, but nothing at the top. And again, the other side, you got Yoda at the top and the clashing of sabers at the bottom. Instead, for widescreen, clashing of sabers at the bottom, but no Yoda at the top. Very similar looking packaging. A lot of folks go on eBay looking for these, not knowing what they're looking for. Vertical means full screen. The wide ones down there mean widescreen. But the widescreen ones will tell you that it is because it says it along the sides. Okay? Do not get taken if you're looking for widescreen. Don't pick up full screen. And for the love of God, if you see one on there that looks like this, that doesn't show you the tapes, it just has the box and doesn't have the slipcover on it, ask. Or look and see if they specify it within the listing. Very hard, I mean, not a very hard thing to come by, very hard to come by with the person selling it actually realizing that there are differences between the two and specifying which one it is that you're trying to buy. Now, these came on the inside with a little special coupon booklet type of thing. Advertising balance point from the new Jedi Order. Oh, how long it's been. And a special promo card for the Jedi Knights trading card game from Decipher. The tapes themselves got that cool look. This is basically designed to mirror the way the prequel trilogy is going to look based on the VHS release of The Phantom Menace. So now it says Star Wars big, it's got the Roman numeral behind it, it says A New Hope underneath. The prequels kind of establish this idea of black for number 1. So they use black for the odd numbers and white for the even numbered ones. At least in this set. They don't wind up doing that with Episode 2. They still give it a black covered VHS release. So they ditch their own marketing scheme here. Anyway, you've got your image down there at the bottom, of course. It is a black tape. There is no sticker label. It is actually printed onto the tape. Star Wars 4, A New Hope. This is the full screen edition. And there's your back cover content. A New Hope widescreen. Says widescreen up there at the top in gold. Says it on the side here as well. The side up here as well. The images on the sides, same on this one too. The back is also the same. So the only difference in the packaging here is simply the widescreen notation. And the label is different. Star Wars with A New Hope underneath it, as opposed to saying Star Wars and then the number and the subtitle underneath it. Not really sure why they labeled it that way. And this one does say teeny tiny widescreen underneath where it says A New Hope. Same for Empire Strikes Back. Black box, much cooler than the white ones, I might say. Stormtrooper, Yoda, Star Wars 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and back art. Then you've got Empire Strikes Back in widescreen, only difference being the widescreen notation going around the side, and Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, widescreen, different than full screen, but in keeping with the style of the widescreen version. Return of the Jedi, white this time, right? Star Wars 6, Return of the Jedi, on the back. Then we've got Palpatine and Luke. Widescreen edition, just widescreen up there at the top. The inside, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, widescreen, in keeping with the other widescreens, but different than full screen again. We have Palpatine and Luke and the back. Same type of thing. So in this case, what we're getting is two different releases that are very similar in their packaging style when it comes to the cardboard pieces, but not when it comes to these weird plastic covers that slip over them. You at least can tell the difference between them, though, on the tapes, because they do have different label styles. So if you see one of these loose laying around, the label style is going to tell you whether it's widescreen or not. And if you don't notice the widescreen on this, but you see one that has it written with the Roman numerals, as soon as you see the Roman numeral, you should know it is full screen. If you're anal or retentive enough to remember that, as I apparently have been. But you know, this might beg the question, it's 2002. We just got widescreen and full screen and a limited collector's edition version of the Star Wars Trilogy Special Edition just 3 years earlier in 1997. Yeah, Lucasfilm tends to re-release films over and over again on VHS, as we've seen in the past, and certainly they make tweaks in this era between them. So what exactly are we getting in the package? No changes to the films themselves, thank goodness. That was another 4 more years away when the DVDs would arrive with changes. These are the same films we got in 97. However, they have removed those behind-the-scenes little videos that we got before the films on the regular widescreen and full-screen editions in 97, and the trailers that we would have found at the beginning of the films in the 97 limited collector's edition. Instead, before the films on each tape, you get a trailer for StarWars.com, right? The website, before it was the dumbed-down Pretty Pictures website that it is today. And on only the A New Hope VHS tape, we get a special feature about the making and background of the upcoming, 2 years away, Attack of the Clones.
The first film starts with the last age of the Republic, which is it's getting tired, it's old, it's getting corrupt. There's the rise of the Sith, who are now becoming a force. And in the backdrop of this, you have Anakin Skywalker, a young boy who's destined to be a very significant player in bringing balance back to the Force and the Republic.
There's nothing that kind of dates this set, very much like the 1986, 1987 VHS tapes having those 10-year anniversary trailers on them. What's funny here is that people saw this and were like, yeah, we're getting new stuff from Attack of the Clones, this is gonna be awesome. And what was it? Interviews with the actors playing Owen and Beru. Nothing against the people playing Owen and Beru or the characters of Owen and Beru, but how much did their appearance actually matter in the grand scheme of things for Attack of the Clones? Not a whole hell of a lot. So we get that connection, and we get excited about seeing A New Hope with Owen and Beru as adults, and then seeing the people playing them as their younger selves. That was very cool. But in the grand scheme of things, looking back on it, kind of a meh sort of a moment. And something that's only found on the one tape. After getting some behind-the-scenes footage or interviews in the last 2 releases before each film, this felt like kind of a letdown, and was yet another reason why a lot of people didn't pick up this VHS set in lieu of hanging on to their previous ones. But wait, something else is coming soon with this box style, and we will see something hitting American shores, thanks to the internet really, that was a new thing for fans of the original trilogy. We will check out the Star Wars VCDs to coincide with these in our next episode. Until then, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.